Edgar Allan Poe, born on January 19th, 1809 in Boston, Massachusetts, Edgar Allan Poe was an orphan at a very young age and was consequently raised by John and Frances Allan in Richmond, Virginia. Of note, he was never formally adopted, but his relationship with the Allans grew complicated by business and family disputes. After dropping out of the University of Virginia due to finance, Poe served the military and subsequently established a career as an author and editor, witnessing the tragic loss of his wife Virginia Clem, which greatly affected him personally and professionally. His prominent works are The Raven, 1845, and The Telltale Heart, 1843, whose subjects include loss, despair, madness, and guilt. The Fall of the House of Usher, published in 1939, has a highly haunted setting, while The Murders in the Rue Morgue, 1841, is known to be the very first detective story, leading the way for other works in the genre. Poe, an inhaler of romanticism, dark romanticism in particular, is interested in dark and macabre, including psychological or horror and mental extremes, meditating upon the darkest side of humanity. Poe was quite good at poetry, as it is demonstrated in the works like Annabel Lee and The Raven, which are considered lyrical and richly emotional. His short novels, containing psychological horror and mystery combined with having unreliable narrators and plot twists, developed his poet in the niche. Moving into critical essays, Poe brought about literature and art while pointing towards the importance of emotion in poetry. Given the 19th century, Poe's narrative originality and dark elements establishing him as a precursor to literary modernism and one of the most inspirational figures in American and world literature. The Raven. Edgar Allan Poe's haunting poem, The Raven, portrays sadness and loss, most recurrently seen in the art of a narrator dealing with the loss of his much loved lady, Lenore. In the course of the poem, the narrator's pain and its aftermath de- are depicted through an exploration of the ineluctable presence of sadness and gradual onset of madness. The main characters are sad due to the identity crisis which is present to the audience through the lens of Acosta, who lost his wife, and the raven, who represents loss and eternal sorrow. The narrator's sorrow and rage are equally palpable, while the raven only serves to amplify his pain by shadowing him with the word nevermore. The core theme is psychological, since the narrator is torn between the abstract feelings of honoring Lenore and the real feelings of being averse to his hurt. As the narrator approaches the raven, this psychological contradiction leads to greater cognitive distress. As far as the conversational structure is concerned, the raven is narrative poem which is very much spongy and sweeps the reader along. Quite certainly, the word nevermore is the most frequent phrase and serves justification. Its use increases the emotional tone and mirrors the narrator's increasingly irrational state. Composed of 18 stanzas, each contributes to a haunting atmosphere that reflects the protagonist's despair. Poe's use of dark imagery and symbolism create a rich tapestry that underscore themes of mortality and insulation.